Hey, welcome to Guitar Relaxation Techniques. This is Minnix with you, and today we're going to be talking about, well, last time we talked about the G chord. And the G chord is just barring across the 5th fret, but it doesn't resolve anything with the song. It just, or with any kind of music, it just is nebulous, you know, back and forth, back and forth. But if you want to resolve something, you need to come to the 5th chord of the scale, which in this case is an A, so it's at the 7th fret. And when you bar across that, and then you go back to the 1st chord, it resolves everything. That's called a cadence. Sometimes people call it the Amen. It's that resolution to the problem. It's the you've been having a hard time. Things suck, and you're tired of it, and you just want that resolution to come. Well, maybe in your life it's not ready to come. Maybe God's working on you and trying to develop patience, or maybe He's just taking through a hard time because it just happens to be that hard time, you know. But you will find the resolution at some point. And Mozart was really kind of a master of this. He would put off that resolution as long as he could, and he would go through all sorts of different, if you get a chance you should listen to some of his symphonies, but he would start and build up and make you think, oh, I'm going to resolve it, and then no, he'd go off in another direction, and then he'd build that up and build that up. Oh, we're finally going to resolve it, and no, and then he'd go off in another direction, and that's what he did over and over and over again. And then finally when he got to the, you were so happy because like, oh good, now it's done, you know. And sometimes you can do that. Maybe you've got a lot of tension in there and you really need to release it. You know, maybe you just need to go back and forth over the D chord with nothing to say, just melodies. And then finally you get around to playing on that G chord for a while. But you're not resolving anything. But when you're finally ready and you need to feel like a solid, real resolution, the 7th fret or the 5th chord down to that 1, and don't forget to breathe. You want to take in that oxygen because it helps your brain think. And you know, there's something too, if you're just really struggling and you need resolution in your life, there's just something good about just playing that 5th chord, or you know, the 7th fret, the A chord, and back to the 1. Don't forget to breathe. So these three chords, the D, the G, the A, and the D, the G, and the A, they kind of make a three-legged stool. You know, in Proverbs it says, with two people lie down together, they'll keep warm. And then it goes on to say that a cord of three will not easily be broken. It's basically talking about partnership and friendship and family and all that stuff that you need. You need family around you, and if you don't have a family, maybe you need your friends to be your family, you know. But you got people, if you can get people around you that want to support you, 2 or 3 friends will really build you up and hold you. Maybe you don't have a lot of friends, you know, right now. Pray about it. God can send you the people that you need to help you and to be your friend and lift you up. You don't need to be lonely, and the cool thing is, you've got God. You can turn to Him. He's always a friend that's there, that can hear you and encourage you if you just listen. And sometimes just, for me, just playing my guitar like this, and every once in a while something will pop into my head, and I'm like, I might need to pray about that. And I'm just like, God, you know that situation. Can you take care of it? Like right now, I'm thinking about a friend of mine that really is having a tough time. I'm like, you know, God, just please help my friend and take care of them right now. Maybe you got something going on, so I pray, you know, that God will help you with whatever you're going through. And notice I can just say a little prayer and still keep playing my guitar. Play along with me, and again, pretty much anything you play is going to sound good because we're in this tuning. And what's cool about the A chord is sometimes, you know, a lot of times I'll say, like, if you're playing the G chord and you can't play it all, just play some of the notes. But with the A chord, you can leave a couple of these notes on the bottom open, it just makes a different kind of an A chord. You can even do it with the top. And you don't have to play as fast as me or do the things that I do. You kind of do your own thing. And you throw in the little, you know, techniques, the bending, the hammer on and pull off, the sliding, the tremolo, the vibrato that I taught you in previous videos. And here I'm just strumming with the tips of my fingers right there. Gets a different sound, but I just let that sound just kind of relax me. So I hope you have a good day. Don't let things stress you out. It's all going to be okay. Hey, here we are with some more guitar relaxation techniques, and today I'm going to talk about the B minor chord. The B minor is the relative, it's called the relative minor when you're talking about the D major scale, because it's the sixth note, and the natural minor scale for B minor has all of the same notes that the D major scale has. And it's also one of those chords that really sets up a lot of different types of songs. So now that you have the D chord, the G chord, the A chord, and now the B minor, you really, if you wanted to, could, instead of just relaxing, you could start playing literally thousands of songs. One of the progressions that's real popular, they call it the oldies progression. It goes from D to B minor, which the way you play a B minor is you come to the second from the bottom, or the second from the thickest string, which in this case is D A, because we're in D A D, F sharp, oops, A D. I don't know why I keep going up, but D A D, F sharp, A D, and that is a B note. It goes from A to B flat or A sharp to B. So when you add that B, it becomes kind of a B minor-y, kind of a B minor with an A thrown in there. Almost like a Jimi Hendrix B minor in standard tuning. But you can play songs like in that oldies progression that goes D, G, A, things like Blue Moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, or whatever, without a love of my own. Or when the night is come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Or you could do, I remember when rock was young, me and Susie had so much fun, holding hands and skimming stones, had a no-go Chevy and a place of my own. That's Crocodile Rock. I mean, there's 1,000 songs that have that pattern, and you could play a lot of those if you wanted to. You get, done with relaxing and then just start having fun with it. Then you can change it around a little bit. Let's say you want to go in a different order. Maybe you want to go from the open D to the G, then to the B. Wait, no. Yeah, it's the open D to the A chord, which is the 7th fret, which remember we're just gripping, right across like that, to the B minor, and to the G. Well, that becomes that pop progression that everybody plays. So you could do like closing time. That's a little high for me, but closing time. Every new beginning comes from some of the beginning end. Or can you feel the love tonight? Or when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Which, is about Paul McCartney's mom, Mary McCartney. Not Mary, the mother of Jesus, which she was a good woman too, but, I'm Protestant. I don't pray to her, but anyway. It's a cool progression. I mean, you can just play lots of songs. Lots and lots and lots of songs in that progression. You could also change it around and start from the minor. You could go. Maybe you're really feeling sad today. This might be a good place to start. and then resolve by just going back to 1. So you don't even need the 7th fret, the A chord. You just resolve to the 1 by going from the G to the 1, because you build up that tension by going from the minor to the G, and it just feels good when you get down to the 1. And don't forget to breathe, that's important. So that's something you can do. You can add that chord in there and it makes a lot of variation. And you can add it, you could go like and play different, variations on kind of the all along the watchtower thing. Or whatever. It's a really cool way of playing songs, and even if you can't really sing them, you can kind of think them in your head, and you can think of songs that kind of follow that pattern, and you probably, if you're like me, will feel really good about playing the songs, because it's, hey, I've accomplished something. I've accomplished the ability to play this song, and accomplishment is a really important thing in life. I mean, I think sometimes the problems that come our way are God's way of saying, here's a mountain and I'm going to help you get over it, to show you that you're stronger than you think you are. A lot of people sell themselves short and they think, I'm not, anything special. Well, you know what? Maybe God's trying to tell you that you are something special, and maybe that's why you're going through some of the problems that you're going through. Maybe you just don't think that you can get over it, but you know what? You can get over it. You can climb that mountain. You have the power, you have the strength, especially if you lean on God. He's got all the strength anyway. And He'll get you over that mountain, and then you'll really feel good about yourself. You'll really feel like, hey, I've accomplished something. Just like when you learn how to play a new song. It's cool because you're like, wow, I've accomplished something really cool that I didn't think I'd be able to do, and yes, you can do it. And it's just as simple as just adding in those chords, and you can change them around any way you want to, especially if you're just playing for relaxation. There's no right or wrong way the chords go in this situation. You just play it and you enjoy it. And you enjoy the sound that's being made. So that's it for today. I hope you have a good day. And I'll see you later. Hey, my name is Willie Minnix and welcome to Guitar for Relaxation, and I'm going to drink some water because I'm a little thirsty. And I wanted to talk to you today about something that I do kind of at the end of all these videos because it's a nice soothing little sound. And it's called a guitar harmonic. And maybe you've never heard of it before. But a harmonic is just when you lightly press your fingers onto the string. I don't know if you can see this very well. Let me see if I can move this like this. But I'm not really pressing down the string at all. I'm just gently touching my finger over the string at certain frets, and those frets make the bell type sound. One of the frets, the easiest, is the 12th fret. And that's because the harmonic is the, this is the exact center of the string, that 12th fret. But another one is up here at the 13th, 14th, 15th fret. It's not as clear, but the 17th fret will also do it. Sometimes when you tap on the fret and hammer it a little bit, you get those harmonics coming through. Another place is down on the 5th fret and on the 7th fret. And you know what I think about harmonics? Harmonics kind of remind me of angels in a way. Angels are beings sent by God that He created. We're not called to bow down to angels. In fact, one of the angels tells one of the apostles, "Don't do that. I'm just a created being like you are." But they're created beings that we can't see. And normally when you're playing your guitar, you just play these tones, but the harmonic is there, but it's not in the forefront. You don't really notice it. But when you play the harmonics in the spots where they can be found, then all of a sudden you notice it, and it's like angels. And it's kind of like, a lot of times when I'm praying for somebody, I pray that God would send angels to fight back anything, because there are good things in the spiritual realm and there are really bad things in the spiritual realm. And I pray, when I pray for people, that God will send angels to push back anything dark in the spiritual realm that is attacking them, and that the angels will come and give them comfort and peace and guard them and protect them. And that is, for some reason, the harmonics just kind of remind me of that. And a lot of times angels' job were to give messages. And so sometimes if God's sending an angel your way to protect you, well, maybe there's a message too that He wants you to hear. And if you're just kind of listening and waiting for God and asking Him to give you a message or give you understanding or give you wisdom, I think God will send angels or send His Holy Spirit to give you that assurance and that peace and that message and the wisdom and all that stuff that you need. It doesn't hurt to ask God to send a group of angels to protect somebody or to help them if they're going through a hard time. And just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Just like these harmonics, you can't really see them if I'm playing. I mean, the notes are there, but these higher tones are not there. You gotta know where to find them. And the further you go up when you do a harmonic, the higher pitch it will be. Sometimes you can get a harmonic off the 3rd fret if you do it right, but not always. But that's another little technique that you can kind of throw into your playing and liven it up a little bit, and just maybe it'll calm you down and give you something relaxing to cling to. So anyway, I hope you have a good day, and I hope that if you're really struggling, that God will send you angels to protect you and to watch over you and to guide you to Him. Bye now. Remember to breathe. Hey, my name's Minnix, and we're back with one more video for the Guitar Relaxation series. And I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that maybe you've gotten something out of this and you've learned a new technique that can help you unwind and relax, because that's really what playing music is all about. And today I want to teach you another little technique that'll help you, that you can add to when you play, and it's banjo rolls. And I've taught you earlier this 2-finger thing, but one little thing that you can add is there are 3-finger techniques that you can add, and you can kind of pick any string you want to. It doesn't really matter what string. But you can assign your fingers, the 3 of your fingers, these 3 fingers, to a different string. And you can just kind of go back and forth. So there's a forward roll. Then there's the reverse roll. And then you can do the forward reverse, and then the reverse forward. I think there are a few other banjo rolls, but those are just a few that you can practice. And they give it a little bit different rhythm. As you're playing your guitar. And that reminds me of, there's a Phil Keaggy song called Be in Time, and I'm sure maybe it's on YouTube somewhere, but Be in Time talks about how God has a timing and a timetable, and a lot of times we don't want to be in God's timetable and what He's doing. Maybe He's taking us through a dark period that we're not real happy about, and we want to hurry up and get through it, and He's making us linger. Well, Phil Keaggy's song talks about how we should be in time, how God wants us to be in time, in His time, and to work through these things in the way that He wants us to work through them. And it's not always easy to work through these problems. It's not always easy. Sometimes we need a paradigm shift, and a paradigm shift is hard. You know, you don't get a paradigm shift necessarily right off the bat. Sometimes it takes a lot of years and a lot of work, and then suddenly something shifts and changes, and then we're a different person afterwards. Well, you can only be a different person if you're in God's timing, you know. Otherwise you'll be fighting His time, fighting His way of doing it, fighting what He's taking you through, and it just makes it harder and harder and harder. But if you can just kind of let go and just kind of be in time with Him, then all those problems just sort of get worked out after a while. And it's natural to want to hurry through things. It's natural to say, I hate this. This is really hurting me. This is really something that I'm not happy about. Take a deep breath, let it go. I mean, I don't like to go through stuff either. And, you know, the thing is, we all have to go through stuff. But you can take a break. You can play your guitar. You can let these tones help you. And don't forget to breathe. And just by adding a couple little simple techniques, you end up with these really interesting, relaxing sounds that you didn't know you could make. I'll bet before you tuned into this series, you thought, well, I can't really play like that. I can't really play that well. But now, just after a few videos, I hope that you've probably started to develop some dexterity in your hands and in your fingers, and you're starting to say, you know what, that technique's not that hard, and that technique isn't that hard, and I can play the bend, and I can do a slide, and you know, I can play that note right there, and I can really feel how this is just really relaxing, and I can breathe for a minute, and all that tension in my chest just opens up and lets go, and it flows away, just like this music kind of is like water just dripping and flowing. Well, I'll let all that tension just kind of flow out, and just know that God has the situation in control. There are things about it that you cannot control. There are things about your situation that you just don't have the ability to change. There are things that you're going through that nothing you do is going to make it any better, and maybe might just make it worse. But you know what? If you trust God, He's a friend that can move in the hearts of kings. He's the friend that can talk to people that just hate your guts, and He can change the situation, and you won't recognize it until after it's done. Wow, that was God, and His hand was in that situation, and He cared about me enough that He worked and He did something on my behalf when I don't deserve it. And maybe you have to walk through that dark valley a little bit longer. So you need some of that tension. But you can let it go and just let it resolve and relax you a little bit. These banjo rolls are nice because you can pick more than one string. If you want to. So I hope that something in that helps you, that you can use that to help you relax and not be so tightly strung. Just let it go. And I hope that these videos have been useful for you. And I just pray that whoever watches these videos will just be blessed and will be able to kind of unwind a little bit and let some of that stress just go away. Get yourself a nice cup of chamomile tea. Get your guitar, tune it up, and if you need to, go back through these videos and pick something out that's going to help you unwind. God bless.